Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome along to our weekly dust up on the interwebs. It's the Studio Rats Live Q&A number 133. My name's James Ivy.
I'm Paul Drew.
And you are all very welcome. All 16 of you. Wow, 16 people early doors. Amazing. It's been a bit of a great... from
I think people are still enjoying the festivities.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you. My kids don't go back to school till next week.
No,
which is a bit frustrating because I've had enough now.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. It is what it is. As
numbers are growing as we're talking, which is good.
It's a beautiful thing. So, as is traditional at this point in the evening, Mr. Drew, what have y'all been up to?
Well, I came back to work yesterday. No, that's not true. No, last week I did a couple of videos, didn't I? Did a couple of videos. They did all right. And I properly came back to work yesterday, which I came to yours.
You did. It was very nice. First videos properly attacked and stuff in Dave in the new studio.
Yeah. So should we talk about what we did?
Let's do that because it was fun. Other than one bit, which wasn't fun.
That wasn't so fun. So yesterday, what we decided to do was to get a load of 100-watt Marshalls in James's studio with a proper dB meter. What are they called? What's it called?
An SPL meter.
An SPL meter. That's it. Sound pressure level meter to measure exactly how loud Marshalls just like proper cranked.
Yes.
And it was an experience. 100-watt Marshall flapping your trouser legs.
It was properly loud.
It's properly loud. So we wore proper earplugs, like proper gigging earplugs, and we even managed. So we blew up one of James's amps in the process, which was weird, wasn't it? Because we cranked up. That sounded really good. First video we did. Well, let's talk about it. It's coming out tomorrow anyway. But we did we did a Marshall
DSL JCM 2000 DSL, the 100-watt head. Yeah. We did the JCM 2000 TSL, the triple super lead, 100-watt combo, but that's neither here nor there. We put it through a 4x12, so it's all equal. We then had the 100-watt JCM 900 high gain dual reverb from Gregoire, and we have my 50-watt JCM 900 high gain dual reverb. Now, what's interesting is that having spoken to someone about this today who knows their amp onions, as it were, he said to me, Marshall 100-watt amps aren't really 100 watts, don't you? I said, well, yeah, I assume this because the original JTM 45 was a 45-watt amp, and the original Plexis were just two JTM 45 bolted together to give you 90 watts.
Oh, is that true? I didn't know that.
So I like my friend Int Industry are under the impression that even though they claim to be 100 watts, they're actually only 90 watts, strictly speaking. Right. But what an amount of noise.
It was good fun. It was a good noise. It was a really good noise and great experience as well. Just cranking up a 100-watt amp just on full and
realizing that actually you could, even though you can, you probably never should, because the amps just go into kind of a almost self oscillation with the reaction between the guitar and the speaker and the amp. It just becomes too much.
It's really hard to control. And then we did the second video. We thought we'd see what the difference in volume is between a 100-watt Marshall, a 35-watt Matchless, a 15-watt Sir, a 15-watt PRS. What is it?
The MT15.
MT15.
And don't tell them because it's worth it. It's worth watching the video that will come out in a couple of days.
It was shocking.
Just for that moment of
and then so right at the end we did a wild card. We're not you don't want to say what it is.
No, don't tell them. Don't tell them what the wild card is.
And it was shocking. It was shocking. It was. I couldn't believe I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's really interesting though, and I think I said this on the video, where the Marshalls all sound like Marshalls, don't they? They've all got that Marshall roar about them, which is what Marshall became famous for. Now, your Matchless is obviously voiced in such a way that the clean channel sounds like a AC30, and the overdrive channels are voiced in such a way they sound like a Marshall. When you get now, normally I would say your Matchless is probably the greatest amp I've ever heard in the flesh. It sounds beautiful, and there were definitely differences between your Matchless cranked and the Marshalls cranked, mainly noise.
Yeah,
the actual inherent noise of the amp.
Yeah,
but the tone that came off the Marshall DSL 2100 versus the tone that came out of your Matchless, I didn't think there was much in it.
I think you're right, and the reason for that is, as we always say, is the speaker, because everything was going through that 4x12, and the speaker is majority of the sound. I mean, it's not majority of the sound, but it's tonally, that's what gives the sound. I mean, that's why, you can put Celestian Blues with a Vox and it sounds, and people go, oh, that's the sound of a Vox, because that's what you're used to. It's that bright sort of over piercing sort of noise. You stick anything through a 4x12 Marshall and it has that Marshall sort of sound, because that's what we're used to hearing the cabinet. Yeah.
But certainly two very interesting videos about basically volume, if you like. And then we shot another couple with some of my latest auction acquisitions, which again, I think was quite some couple of interesting videos. Yeah. It's nice to get some toys out and give them some beans and have some fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, what are we up to? Let's move it over to your side.
Well, today I've been editing said videos. Yesterday, obviously, I was with you, and just doing the final bits in here, trying to get everything up and running for the first session in a couple of weeks. So you'll see here, I now have the streaming rig set up. All the cameras are in. All the cameras that are staying permanently attached to the rig are in and talking directly to that, which is great. There's now 4 cameras on the drums permanently. There's 2 cameras around here that I can move. And then, of course, we've got all the low-level static cameras that I can have out. And, just trying to get everything ready for the first session in a couple of weeks. Trying to tidy up, trying to get rid of all the junk that I don't need, and still trying to get some work done. So I've been trying to sort of plan videos for the next couple of weeks. Got an interesting project came up today that means I'm off to Germany next week, which is going to be quite exciting. And then another project come in for end of February, which is nice. So yeah, good get back to work kind of vibes this week. And yeah, all starting to go the right direction. Should we dive into some comments and stuff? We should, of course, it being the first live stream Q&A of the new year, at least say Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year's is.
We hope your festive season, whichever holidays it was you were celebrating, were fruitful. Father Christmas or whoever it is brought you exactly what you desired, and you didn't drink too much, or maybe you did. Who knows? And unlike nearly everyone else I know, you weren't ill over Christmas, because most people I know have had some sort of bug or lurgy or whatever.
I just wonder if this is just Christmas is to come. Because it's just every Christmas, isn't it? People just crap. Yeah. Anyway,
let's get into it. Here we go.
Safey says, "Good evening, Safey." Richard. Oh, hi, Richard. He says, "Good evening, Happy New Year, guys," and to you, Richard.
And I do like that guitar. I know we say it every week, but I really like that guitar.
That's nice, isn't it? Sheps in the house. He said, "Evening, all Happy New Year to everybody." And Daniel says, "Good evening, rats from a windy and wet North Carolina."
Nothing would be finer.
True.
As they say.
Pet's in the house. It says, "Evening all, evening Pet. Hope your pedal got sorted." Bogeyman, evening all, happy 2023. Let's make this year a good one for a change. That'd be nice.
That would be very nice, wouldn't it?
Lightwing, yowza! There'll be rats in the house. Happy New Year, gents, and to you, Lightwing. Ned says, "Good evening, everyone. In personal gear news, I recently bought me Old Blood Noise Endeavours XS V2. I just ordered the Electro-Harmonix op-amp Big Muff. I sold some stuff and want to sell one of my Les Pauls." Ooh, which I think he continues with that later on.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Boom. There we go.
We'll do that and we'll go back to K Michael P.
Yeah.
Says, which one of my Epiphone Les Pauls should I sell? The Black Custom from 2016 or Blue Standard Plus Top Pro from 2017? Both, neither. I like them, but they're very similar. Same pickups too.
I like the blue one. I like the look of them. To be honest, when it's an Epi, there's nothing wrong with them. They're perfectly serviceable, great sounding guitars. But they're not going to set the world alight. There's a gazillion of them out there. So get rid of the one that's the least attractive, and I like the blue one.
Yeah, I think more than the least attractive. I think which one sounds better. If the Black Custom's got the Black Custom has on an Epi, does that have ebony fingerboard?
I don't know.
It should do. Customs have ebony. So personally, I'd keep the Black Custom.
There you go. That's just a cart, horses.
Or why not sell both? And go and buy a standard, like a Les Paul standard, like a proper Gibbo. Unless you need the money, obviously.
Or pick up a studio. You can pick those up for not much dough.
Yeah. I definitely would try some out just to see if you prefer. Like, when I say a real one, that sounds ridiculous, but
we know what you mean, though. We know what you mean.
What else? Yes. So sorry, we can't help any more than that. If I played them, I'd say, I prefer that one, or I prefer that one. Which is one of them as well. Is one of them more desirable? So is one of them a more of a collector's item? Because some of these Epiphones are, like the rare ones, they go up in value. Good.
Yeah.
And they're great guitars. Nothing wrong with them at all.
Totally. At this point, we should.
Mr. McQuillan, he's got a new guitar.
Oh, that's pretty.
Looks like a Chapman.
Not as pretty as these, though.
Look at them. Look at these. Mr. McQuillan, thank you, Dave. That's really nice of you. Dave McQuillan owns a company called the Highland Plectrum Company. Go and check them out. They're on Reverb, and he makes fantastic plectrums, and they are absolutely stonking. So go and check them out. Thank you, Dave. That's very nice of you, mate. Let us know that it looks like a Chapman, which we're going to be talking about chappers in a minute. K. Michael P says, greetings from 50 miles offshore the Bahamas, swimming.
Nice.
You know what I mean? What's going on?
I'm assuming he's not swimming right now.
Is it raining really bad there or something at the moment?
It's been snowing in various parts of the States. I appreciate that the Bahamas isn't the States, but they've had.
Wasn't Florida in a bit of a mess as well? Wasn't it like the coldest Florida's ever been? And
yeah, they've actually had snow in Florida. I think I read.
In Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, did they? Wow.
Bizarre.
Rock on Gibbo. Evening, chaps. Anything tickling your pickle in the January sales? I haven't looked at the January sales actually.
I have.
Right.
Nothing really floating my boat, purely because at the moment, I'm Jurassic because of but I'm waiting for March for the next auctions. I'm on an auction roll at the minute.
You do quite well on these auctions. Maybe I should. I think amplifiers are a good buy at those auctions. I don't think guitars are such a good buy, but I think you do well.
If you're not so fussy about if you're not, I think if you've got 30 grand to spend on the 1962 Strat, you're going to get an amazing deal. You're going to get it for well under.
Can you try these out before you buy them?
Can, yes.
Can you? Oh, that's different. Okay, that's different.
You can go down there and you can attend the auction in person.
Oh, that would be fun to do that. Maybe we should. You probably can't film it. It's probably some legal reason you can't film it.
No, we wouldn't be able to film it.
No, yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen anything. There's a couple of really interesting pedals coming out from a couple of companies that I've been privy to, and I've got them here. Trying to think if there's anything. No, to be honest, I'm skint. I'm skint as well because we're moving or considering moving. if it all goes ahead.
I am going to have a slim down because I don't need 4 Marshalls.
Yeah,
is the honest answer. I don't need 4. I'm going to keep the 800, the studio.
Oh, right.
Because
we should have did that yesterday as well.
Yeah, we should have done really, but we've got time.
Yes.
I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep the 9. I think I might keep the 900.
Oh, you've got to keep the 900.
But I think I'm going to move on once it's fixed. The DSL.
What about TSL? We're going to keep that. I don't think you need it. I think it's great and it sounds really good.
I don't think we need it because I don't need it because I've got the MT15 to do that high gain sound.
Yeah, the MT15 is a different sound. It's more. It's got that sort of mid poke on it.
Yeah.
The PRS Mark 115, in case anyone doesn't know what we're talking about. It's a really good amp, that.
Yeah. And I don't need 400 watt Marshalls here.
No, you don't. No. To be honest, you could if you kept the 900, I think it's a shame you haven't got the head. Personally,
yeah.
That's what
I think. If the 900 head came up at the next auctions, I'd be very tempted to pitch on it.
Yeah, that might be worth going for. But the thing is about your 900, it works and it works really, really well.
Yeah.
And you know how fragile a vintage amp can be, as we found out yesterday, just by like literally everyone. What we were doing, we were playing through it.
We went, there's quite a lot of reverb on this, and I turned the reverb down, and the amp went.
Yeah, so
that was it. That was the amp gone.
Yeah, if anyone's got any ideas what that could be to save James some money.
Well, it has just been serviced. So I think I'm quite within my rights to take it back and say, the first time we used it after the service, this happened.
Yeah.
And Steve's not going to mess me about, so it's not. So it's fine. But I do want to take the Music Man to them because they'll do a cracking job on that and fix it up, and it'll be great.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
But in answer to your question, I haven't really been looking. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I need to move on the Sir that I bought. That's amp top. I like
that.
It's really good.
I like it, but I didn't like it as much as I hoped I would.
No. I know exactly what you mean. But the thing is, that's not what it's for. The thing that it's for is driving. Is using the Sir reactive load and the IR technology that's built into it, which it does really, really well. So that's what it's for. But yeah, the gain sound on that is outstanding. It's almost like what I'd like to do. I'd like to get my match list, have the versatility of the matches, but then have different. I guess that's profiles, isn't it? You profile what you want, and then you take that out. Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
Yes.
David Bro says, "Happy New Year, rats, rattos." He says, "Paul, did you ever see my message about PRS selling their pickups? I think it was the pair you wanted. How did the 100-watt Katana stick up?" I did see a message. I replied to it, David. Actually, I definitely replied to that message, saying that I can't remember what I said now. I think it was £500 a set, wasn't it? I definitely replied. So something's got lost somewhere. David, maybe check your spam. The pickups that I want from PRS are the 8515 LTs, not the 8515s. But even so, I think £500 for a set of PRS pickups
is quite a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I really wish PRS would sell those pickups because they are absolutely fantastic. Those pickups, and also the pickups that are in the what's the John Mayer one?
Silver Sky.
Yeah, I missed that guitar. There's
a rare thing for you to say.
I know, yeah, because it's such pickups in that thing. The only thing I didn't get on so much with it was the neck radius. Just I want to do a more of a bend. It choked out. But anyway, the pickups are fantastic in that thing. Chris Wright says, evening, everyone. Happy New Year. And to you, Chris. Thomas Nonsense. Greetings from Brisbane, which is very steamy after a few storms last night. Nice. Matt's in the house. Distant Sun Studios says, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, Matt. Colin Sibthorne, he says, Happy New Year, Paul and James. And to you, Colin. Okay, Michael P. I've seen an amp tech measuring old Marshall's hundreds, and most put out 130 plus watts.
Ah, okay.
Well, look at that. That's interesting.
It would certainly explain why some of them were louder stroke quieter than others. Yes, you'd expect the 50 watt to be quieter than the hundreds, but there was, whether it was measurable or not, it was definitely perceived volume variation between them.
Yeah, it wasn't the thing. Yeah, there wasn't. It's not like so we messed up, and you can see it in the video tomorrow. We messed up. We had the half power switch on one of the amps. We rectified it afterwards, but that felt like half volume.
Yeah,
but
then when you clicked the TSL, whatever it was called, RH whatever, but volume, the half power button on that made a hell of a difference.
Is that the half power volume? Is that what it's? Oh, is that what it means?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's interesting then, Michael. About 130 plus watts. That's really interesting. Mick Schreier says, Happy New Year, rats, and to you, Mick. Chris Groom, all the best, and to you, Chris. Mark's Gas Station, Happy New Year, folks, and to you, Mark. Shahar, he's back. He said he bought a Gibson Explorer. Oh, no. It's huge. The stock pickups are a bit weak. Paul, can you recommend a good mid-gain bridge pickup? See, I really like low power pickups. If you're used to you've got a PRS custom, haven't you? What have you got in that, Shahar? Let us know what you've got in there.
I so want an Explorer.
You do. You like an Explorer, don't you? Yeah.
I love an Explorer.
What would I recommend? Do you know what I really like? Are I said it before, is the Sir Pete Thorns, the Thornbuckers. I think they're great pickups, and they're really useful. They're really they sound great, clean. It doesn't sound like a Gibson. The Gibson pickups, which are quite throaty, it's got a lot more clarity about it. So I like them. Whether that's a good shout. As you've got a PRS, I think you might like that. You might like them.
Nice.
David says, Happy New Year all. Centre bought me a new Bosch GX100 for Christmas. Nice one. Really enjoying it. Oh, nice one, David. Fantastic. I hope you downloaded the free patches that I've done. David says, Chapman, his guitar is a Chapman ML3 Pro roasted maple neck. Nice. Stainless steel frets. Oh, that's good, isn't it? Didn't know they did stainless steel frets on that. Hip shot gridlock tuners, Graphtec nut, order body, brass saddle, Seymour Duncan, Alnico 5 pickups. Excellent build quality, under 500 quid. What more do you want? Yeah. Fantastic.
At this point, we should do this.
Mr. Moxie. Cheers, Dave. He says, cheers for the call, Paul. I was a tad starstruck. Or as my missus asked, did one of your boys phone you back? Do your boy? Oh, mate, that's very kind. No, mate, it's a pleasure. You support us by doing stuff like this. It's the least we can do. And to be honest, I like doing it. I like helping people out. So it's if I can help at all, I'm always there. Ivica Bago says, that's a nice. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at the wood on that bad boy. What is that?
Lovely. That's what that is. That's a Jag or a a Jaguar, I think, isn't it?
It's a Jag, but it's what make is that? Is that a Sir one?
Really high gloss finish on that's lovely.
Great, isn't it? He says, Happy New Year, folks. Greetings from Osijet, Croatia. I wonder if that is one of those Croatian brands, because they make some great guitars over there.
Yeah.
Nice one. Yeah, let us know what that is. Gary Waddle says, Happy New Year, everyone. Wishing positive thoughts and gear goodies for 2023. Nice one. And to you, Gary. If I can clear this cough, that is. Said, Chapman is crap. Even beer left them. So we are talking about this. We're going to be talking about this a little bit later on. Perhaps we should do that. Should we do that now? Right. In case you don't know.
Yes.
I'm really confused about the whole thing.
So let's start at the beginning. Start at the beginning.
Okay. A few days ago, Rabea, who I'm sure everyone knows who Rabea is, released
big
a video.
Hair.
Yeah.
Big hair, amazing guitar player.
Amazing guitar player.
What I should say, of course, I should reverse that. Amazing guitar player, big hair.
Yes. But it's great. Image is fantastic. It's the whole package. Great.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, he released quite a video where he was obviously struggling to talk about leaving Chapman, and he obviously feeling guilty, and he didn't want to upset anybody because he has a signature model Chapman guitar, the Beer Baritone, which is a fantastic guitar apparently, and obviously loads of people like Rabea, and they bought his guitar, and it must be hard if someone's bought your guitar and you invest in the brand and you're investing in the guitar player. For that guitar player to leave, he's obviously worried that people are going to be upset that he's left. So anyway, that happens. And so you think, what's going on there?
And then
well, yeah. So you think something's going on there. So what's happening? He's obviously been offered an endorsement by someone else. I hope he has. He deserves it. He's a fantastic guitar player. I imagine that's what's happened, even though there was denials of all that sort of stuff. But why would you leave, or what's happened? And then, was it yesterday? Rob Chapman releases a video saying,
"Greetings."
Greetings, saying he's bought into an American guitar company called Cerberus Guitar.
Cerberus. The dog with three heads.
The dog with three heads. Guitars, which is obviously a metal brand. And he's also bought into I don't know if he now owns the companies or he's a part owner. I don't know. And he's bought into a pickup company called Guitar Marie. And you think, what's going on? You've just released. Hold on a second. Like weeks ago, like literally, we're talking weeks. You've just released a high-end
re-released.
Okay, whichever way you want to look at it, you've just released a UK build, a high-end Chapman line, and then you go and buy into another company. What's that about? I mean, I understand buying into a company and expanding your company, but that instantly says either that's failed, or he's jumping about trying to do things that it just doesn't seem like the what do they call it? The head's telling the body what it's doing. What's the proper term for that?
The tail wagging the dog.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
What is going on?
So I, having seen this, started doing a little bit of digging, and of course, there's an awful lot of hearsay, and the only people who know what actually is happening is Rabea and Chapman.
But it's fun. It's fun to speculate.
Yeah, and Andertons, in as much as they are owners of Chapman Guitars or co-owners or part funding, whatever the financial arrangement is.
Oh, can I just say, sorry, there was. A few weeks ago, you're going to laugh at this. On Reverb, Chapman Guitars in the US were selling what's his pointy guitar called? He's got this pointy guitar, looks a bit like an Explorer, whatever it's called. That had been taken apart. So it was in bits. They were selling that. As opposed to putting it back together, it was new apparently.
Right.
So it had to be done for a refinish job that never got done. The refinish job never got done. They were selling it on Reverb, on the Chapman store on Reverb, for like $200 less than you could buy it new for.
Right.
and you just think, what's going on there? Just put it back together and sell it. What are you doing? What is that about?
Anyway. So there are, from Rabeer's point of view, there are a couple of things that could happen. I got some of this sort of third hand, some from watching Philip McKnight's Q&A. And there are a couple of things that could have happened. One is, depending on the contract, and all this is down to the numbers and the signings and all that sort of stuff, it could be that Rabeer's contract with Chapman Guitars has just finished. It could be that because Rabeer would have said, right, to make some actual money in advance, I want an advance on potential sales. Now, I didn't know the actual percentages, but normally an endorsement deal is 6%.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So if a guitar sells for £100, Rabeer gets £6 of it.
Okay.
Right. Now, but of course, what he doesn't want is 100 checks for £6. So what he might say is, I want 10 grand up front. And then when you've sold 10 grand's worth of my money's worth, we'll renegotiate.
Yeah. So yeah.
Now, what might have happened is they might have sold the right number of guitars to pay off his upfront payment.
Yeah.
Or a time clause might have kicked in, and they've gone, well, hang on a second. We thought we'd sell 20,000 guitars. We've sold 1,000. We've paid Rabeer, let's just say £6, say, but we should have only paid him £3 because we haven't sold enough guitars.
Can we say this is all just speculation?
Absolutely. I'm throwing numbers out, but just because just keep the numbers easy.
Yeah. Okay.
It could be that. It could be that they've had one almighty bust up.
Yeah.
And legally they've got get out clauses, things like that. Or it could just be that they've looked at it and gone, we're never going to sell enough guitars I mean, a baritone is quite a specific, to have a signature baritone, that's quite brave.
Yes.
Because not everybody wants to buy a baritone.
No, I don't know if he's got another signature.
Right. Okay. But say, if in the time clause you don't sell enough guitars, there's your get out. So it might just be that he's had another offer, or he's talking to someone else who said, look, we'll give you 8% with a 30 grand upfront advance.
Yeah.
And he's pulled the trigger on the get out. It could be that. It doesn't have to be sinister, but at a certain point, it does come down to contracts and people earning a living from this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, actually, what you just said. I think as well, I mean, if you look at Rabeer's channel, Rabeer used to make like loads and loads of YouTube videos, and he stopped doing as much. And did you see the video he did of the UK release, Chapman's? It was literally just playing without any talking and stuff. It seemed very...
I've got to do this contractually rather than wanting to do this because I believe in the brand and all that sort of stuff. You can tell, which is why in the UK, actually, I'm not sure if it's law in the UK, but certainly there is currently a YouTube. Okay, legally, I'm not sure where this is, but a couple of years ago, there was a massive thing, especially in the YouTube guitar community, about people giving good reviews and being paid for them and not saying they were being paid for.
Sure.
Now, it is very easy to spot a good review for a product that's not very good, because generally it's very difficult to get excited and get all, unless you are the world's greatest salesman, which I happily am not. It's very difficult to get excited by a product that's really not very good and then make it look great.
Yeah,
it's very difficult.
I agree.
So, you know, it's really important these days that when someone says, like any of our contemporaries say, this is a paid promotion or thanks to the support of, when you hear those words, it means the video is being paid for.
Yeah.
Now, we all have to make a living. So whether you think that's right or not. I personally have a rule, if you like, and I think Paul and I are very similar on this. If a product is so bad that I'm about to destroy it, I won't review it.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Because there's no point. There is absolutely no point. If a product is so bad that it's not actually ready for review, what's the point in reviewing it?
I've said to companies, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't want to put this down the channel because I don't think it's going to be.
We've both said it to companies and said, look, while the idea is great, it's not ready. Come back to us in 2 years or whatever. The other thing you will not hear any of us do is I try not to do reviews for money, because reviews should be what I think about it. If I do a presentation or a feature, that's different. I'll show you how cool something is if it's cool.
Yeah.
But I won't do a review for money because that's a bit contradictory.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on from what we do.
Yeah.
Have we said all the?
I think so. I mean, we'll never find out. We'll never find out the ins and outs of it unless one of them actually makes an official statement about it, which is not going to happen because then they're probably in breach of contract and NDAs and all that sort of stuff.
It will come out. It will definitely come out at some point. Anyway, I'm sure KDH is going to do a video on it. I really wish he wouldn't. I mean, I think he's. Let's go back to KDH just quickly. Nothing against his videos and stuff. I think he makes educational videos and stuff like that. But it'd be nice to make videos on positive things, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like how loud can you make a Marshall before you blow it up?
That sort of
stuff. Moving swiftly on. Here we go.
Chris says Santa bought my wife's permission to buy a 2x12 katana. Also got a Fender Mustang Micro. Oh wow, it's the best piece of gear I bought in years. Which one? The katana or the Mustang?
Because the katana is an awesome piece of kit.
It's staggering how good that thing is.
Yep, and loud as it turns out.
Oh, I still don't understand what's going on. Anyway, Chris Williams, Happy New Year, chaps. Evening, Chris. Happy New Year. And Ned says, thanks for opinions. I'm becoming a telly guy. Nice one. Deluxes and single coils. Even tuned to D standard. Maybe I'll buy another telly before a Gibbo. I've had a studio and it was fine, but nothing special. Yeah, I agree. I think things about studios are they tend to be very heavy.
Yep.
Yeah, nice one. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Sorry.
Telly guy, deluxe and single coils. Yes. Right, nice one. Anyway, yeah, good luck with that. Let us know what you get, Ned.
Nice. I've just posted the link.
Abraham's in that.
I've just posted the link for tonight's show into the notes. If anybody wants to join us, please feel free. That'll be good. So yeah.
Hi Lee, hope you're well. I probably got some questions to ask Lee about areas and stuff, so I might speak to him. William Zai says, "Hi James and Paul, Happy New Year." Paul, what picks do you use? Do you experiment a lot with different thicknesses? Greetings from William in Sweden. I can show you what I use. So when I'm using normal plectrums, and this is not like, and we don't, James and myself, we don't say things about the Highland Plectrum Company because that David comes on the show and stuff. They really are fantastic plectrums. But my standard plectrum that I use are these, they're Dunlop Flow 88s. And I buy them in packs of 25, and they're really expensive. I don't want to spend, I buy 25 of these things and they cost, well, they're about £1 each, even when you buy them on discount.
Whereas I am a Gibson Delta medium kind of guy, and you can buy them by the 100 for about 20 quid.
Yeah.
And I've got bags and bags of them because they're what everyone uses for their promotional material. I've got some 11 rack ones. I've got some G7 ones. And
do you know what I don't like about them? Do you know what I don't like about that? Right, just bring up the end.
You round the edges. You end up rounding the tops off.
Look at the difference. Hold on. Look at the difference in the point.
I know, but
see, that to me is like, that is like one of those sort of that gives like a snappy sound to me because it's got that sort of point on it. They give like, I don't know.
You want snappy pointy sounds? That's the way to go.
That's true, and they do sound very different.
Mm.
Colin says, Paul, here is the Fret King Country Squire one. Even came with a deluxe gig bag. Unfortunately, Colin, you can't. We don't know why, but you can't post pictures.
No,
probably for like legal reasons on YouTube and that sort of stuff. But send us a picture. Send us a picture on the website. On the website,
yep.
I think you can send a picture on that. I'd love to see it.
Or on the Facebook page, or reach out to us or anything like that.
Yeah.
At this point, it is worth introducing Z Peps onto the show.
Z Peps is in the house. Hello, mate.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
You're muted.
You're muted. You there now?
On the way into the stream, were you able to test it, and did you see? Log out again, and then test it on the way in.
Nice one. All right, cheers, mate.
Right, where are we? Boom, there we go.
Rock on Gibbo says, any idea for a good set of P90s? The neck pickup and my Les Paul seems really muddy. That's interesting. So your Les Paul, is that we talked about this before. Is it a BFG? See, the neck pickup on my P90 Les Paul is not muddy at all. It's so on some Gibson models they obviously use different pickups and stuff, and the 50 set so what's the pickups they always put in studios?
Just paths, isn't it?
No, they're not. There's a name for those pickups, and everyone hates those pickups.
And nasty
pickups. Yes. I'm not massively au fait with P90s, although I've got a couple of guitars with P90s. My Strat, my master built Strat, this one. I'll bring it over.
Paisley Tam.
The Paisley Tam. This one's got Seymour Duncan Antiquities in it, and they sound really, really good. Then they're definitely more. They're not as flubby as the Gibson ones. They're not as bottom endy as the Gibson ones.
Right.
They've got more clarity. So I'd recommend them. The other ones that I've heard are really good, and everyone says they're good, are the Fishman Fluence Greg Koch P90s.
Right.
Everyone seems really excited about them, so they might be worth checking out. Hope you find what you like, mate.
Right, let's see how this goes. Welcoming Z Peps onto the show.
Hi guys.
Hey,
it works. Happy New Year, sir.
And to you. You all right? Everything good?
Everything too much cold to be busking nowadays.
Whereabouts are you based?
Portugal.
Of course you are. Yes, I remember. Yes.
Portugal,
yeah. It's cold in Portugal.
Very cold, very cold.
Is it?
Especially in the interior. I'm not in the coast. I'm in the.
Right. Oh, he's frozen.
Oh no! Oh!
Is he coming back?
Something happened. Oh, okay.
Okay, now you've got you. You're back.
We're back.
Okay. So I want to share you my Christmas presents.
We like presents. Do you like a bit of presents?
Oh,
boy.
This is the Squire.
Nice.
Can you show me the body on that again? It's got a flame on it.
Yes.
A flame on that. Is that a photo flame or is that a proper top?
I think so. It's got two pieces. Two different pieces.
That's great, isn't it? I haven't seen that. What model is that?
This is just a bargain in the Thomann site. It was a Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
Right.
I bought it for 320 euros.
Wow, that's good, isn't it?
So I don't like to buy online guitars but let me check, because we can set it back. But this is a nice instrument, man. It's just the neck, the playability, also the pickups. This is my doubt, the Wide Ranger. They are also Squire. You can see.
So they're Squire wide
Yeah,
range.
they Squire there. I think it's a beautiful sound. I think it's. I've been working with it with dirt and clean with my katana, and it's amazing, man.
Oh, that's
I've
fantastic.
got the. Is it a Mexican one or is it a Japanese one? I think it's
This
Mexican.
is crafted in Indonesia.
Right.
Is
I've
it?
got the Japanese Fender version, and they're very, very similar. There's very little between them, but it's almost my go-to guitar at the minute.
This is amazing. I'm just like a little boy in the morning. I went to play it.
That's fantastic. Oh, it's nice when it's nice when you get like an instrument.
The finish, it's called the CV. I think it's custom vibe CV.
Yeah. Okay. Classic. It's classic vibe.
Classic vibe.
Classic vibe. So you got these turners, classic turners. The neck with this thing here.
Yeah. With the skunk stripe. What's
all the whistles and bells. This is very nice.
Where's the truss rod adjustment? Is that
It's up.
It is at the top. Brilliant. See, that's fantastic. What a great guitar.
It's a really great guitar. I'm really happy with it.
Oh,
so,
mate,
and the setup, I didn't have. I just changed the strings. Adjust some string here, something here. So in the G string only, and it's amazing. It's really, really, really good instrument.
Yeah, we're finding this more and more, and I was blown away when we went to funny Richard was in the show earlier from Bonner's Music. We went to Bonner's Music and we tried out the Squire there, and with a setup on them, they are just fantastic.
Also, I want to share with you my first guitar.
Look,
I bought it secondhand back in the 80s. I think this is from the 70s. This is a Japanese brand. It's Hurricane by Morris. I don't know if you can see.
Hurricane. I don't.
By Morris. I think this is a sub-brand of GD guitars from Japan back in the 70s.
Let's have a look at the body.
So what happened here is when I bought it, it doesn't have this piece. It was a sheller with two Strata Casarenberg single coil.
Yeah.
And then when I bought another one, I can show you. I want to put this on it. Okay. So you don't remember, but a few episodes ago, I asked you about the potted pickups.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yes. So this is the same Duck, I bought it. It's very cool. I have to do that job to it. But the thing is, you can see they drill the space. But I don't care. This is an amazing guitar. It's a set neck, as you can see. This neck is amazing.
Right. But it's nice. It's fantastic.
I refret it only once a few years ago, and it's used to be my main guitar. Now the Squire is leading.
Ah, that's great. Is a Squire nice and light, or is it got some weight to it?
Yes, it's very cool.
Oh, great.
Not that heavy. Not that heavy.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, nice one, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you. And last but not least, because I know you're a telly guy.
Oh, look at that.
This is the Harley Benton kit. You can't believe this is amazing, man. For $80, 79 euros. You have to build it.
Yeah.
The neck is, I think they put it on the plaque machine, something like that. It's impossible because it's really cool. And it's my slide guitar because I did it for slide, and it's amazing. The sound, it's not okay. It's not a top of the art, but for 72 years or 82 years, and this is beautiful. I just put something in the woods.
Yeah.
Nothing more, and it's beautiful, and it plays cool, stays in tune.
That's
It's
great.
amazing.
For 80 euros. That's ridiculous.
Do that. I should do that at some point. I should buy a kit or something.
Yes, right. You will be you'll be amazed. I bought a Strat kit for my girlfriend's son, which he is a great guitar player. He has those Ibanez hollow body with like Gibsons, but he loves. I have a Yamaha Pacifica. He loves the sound of it because he's a John Mayer fan, and I bought it, and now it's painting. It's going to be blue, and I will show you then where.
Yeah. Please do.
Nice
Please come back and show us.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice year.
Cheers.
And you, Ram. Thanks for joining us.
Take care, mate. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
That was nice.
Awesome stuff. It's always good to see what other people are playing and what they're using and stuff. It's great.
Yeah, that was nice. That was pretty.
And those classic vibes are great guitars.
They are great guitars, especially with that top on it. I've never seen that. That's great.
Right, let's go there. Boom, here we go.
Rich says, funny enough, just talking about Richard, he said, thoughts on the Helix to Katana head for dry signal, built-in speaker center.
The Katana head's got a speaker in it, isn't it?
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And 2 Yamaha HS5 as a wet left-right small desktop.
That'd be great.
So the Helix Katana head for dry signal. So the Katana
Helix into Katana
for the dry signal, and the Yamaha HS5s for the effects. Yeah, nice one. I'm almost thinking, do you even need the Katana head for that? If you had an interface. No, actually, no. I do think that would be awesome.
You've got dry.
I'm complicating.
Stereo wets.
Yeah, I'm complicating things.
Yeah, that's a great rig.
Yes, I think that'd be awesome, mate.
Really hard to replicate live, or expensive to replicate live, but
yeah, well, you could if you had the
couple of full range RFRs, couple of PA speakers.
Yeah. So if you don't own the HS5s, I'm wondering if a couple of FRFRs.
Pick up a couple of Mackie SRM 350s secondhand.
That sort of thing. If you got those, the only thing about that is I'm imagining, because Richard's talking about this sort of size.
But I mean, if you're looking for something that works at home, but you could gig with the baby 350s,
they're great. Yeah,
and you can pick them up for about 300-400 quid.
Or the Eons, the little Eons.
Yeah, the Eon 10s were good.
What was I going to say? So today I'm doing some patches for. Boss have asked me to make some patches for the Katana, and I'm using the head with them, and I'm testing out the little speakers on the front of the head. They're great. I mean, the Katana just blows away every day.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it?
Without doubt. Peps. Look, he says, Happy New Year, Shooter. Glad to see you guys again, and to you, Peps. Rock on Gibbo. What's the best way to charge people for work you do? Great question. I can't keep doing mates favors for exposure forever. No, mate.
Because I find the Sainsbury's don't take exposure pounds.
Mate, that's the thing is, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. I don't know what the point. At what point you say no? I'm not doing this anymore. Exposure's bollocks. First of all, it doesn't mean it. It doesn't mean anything. There's just someone saying you can do me a favor.
I had someone at a very professional, prestigious agency reach out to me and ask if I fancied doing a gig for exposure. So it would be worth it because there'd be lots of people there, and I was like, I'm really sorry, X person, but as Tesco's and Sainsbury's don't accept exposure pounds, and neither do I. I'm 45 years old. Any exposure that I was gonna have, I've had.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, if you want a gig, it's 400 quid a man for what you want. She went, I completely respect your opinion. I respect your point of view. However, I know I'll get someone who will do it for free.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I said, yes, you will, and they'll probably not be very good.
Okay, I would say in answer to Rock on Gibbo's question, I would say that there is a price that you're worth, and that changes. I'd also say don't miss out on an opportunity out of
pride. Pride's a very dangerous thing.
People do respect you more when you start charging for things. You do get respected.
However, remember that not all payment is in money. For example, there is there's a for instance of a chap was offering some training, and it was quite a lot of money, but the company he was working for said, well, we'll pay you half, but we'll also put you as a featured artist in our magazine, which was worth way more to him than the actual dollars and cents figure. Sure. So don't think that all payment has to be in money. Yes, again, last time I checked, the articles in magazines didn't buy you your groceries, but there's a certain amount you have to speculate to accumulate. Now, I'll do things for mates' rates for mates because that's what they are. But I think your mates will realize after the second or third favor that even they are on thin ice and they have to start paying you what you're worth. Now, we don't know where you are in your career, your ability, talent factor, call it what you will. Only you can decide what you are worth. To give you some idea, I charge £150 a song for drums.
Can I make a suggestion? I think the best way to start to charge people is to say, okay, if you want to do the job, say, look, I'm quite happy to help out. However, I need to earn money. So if a job comes in and they're paying at the same time, I'm going to need to take that job. So the best way of securing me for that is to pay me and us to come up with an agreed amount. I think people do definitely respect you more when you charge, because if you charge and you say, look, I charge for what I do, their estimation of you instantly does go up, because they think, well, you must be better than the other guy. And I'm sure Rock on Gibbo is fantastic, but yeah, know what you're worth and charge it.
And also do some research. Find out what other people are charging for the service you're providing. Now, I know in the world of the online drummers, I'm not the cheapest. I'm not the most expensive. Work out what your KSP is, your key sales point, or your USP, your unique sales point. If you are, and this comes down to Brian, the guy from the Six Figure Home Studio, whose name I can't remember right now. His is all about the niche. Well, because we're in the UK, it's a niche. If you are the hardcore metal guitar player in your town, you have the control of that niche. So if people are coming to you saying, I want you to play hardcore metal guitar on my tracks, you can charge, as you are the person to do that in your town. As soon as you start opening yourself up to the world of the interweb, it is a very, very deep pool now of players who are out there, many of which might not be as good as you, some of which will blow you out of the water. Price yourself accordingly. If I was to find that Vinny Colaiuta is putting tracks out for people for 175 quid, I am seriously overcharging. But I know he doesn't. I know he's significantly more expensive than that. So, hey, you want Vinny, you pay for Vinny. You want something a bit more cost, a bit more affordable, but you still want it to be good. Hopefully, you book me. So, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, but stick with it. I think that's a really great question though. And so, yeah, let us know how you get on, because
but also don't be afraid to ask for money. You have a worth. If someone says, "What do you charge?" Don't go, If someone says, "I want you to play guitar on this track, how much do you charge?" Know your number. Because that way you are instantly professional. You're not going, well, the last one I did was 50 quid and I didn't get enough of that. Because that person's going to hear 50 quid and go, here you go, that's what you're worth. My other advice is get paid up front, and also have say if you're doing guitar tracks for someone, say,
I think you've got to be a little bit. I think you've got to be a little bit more. I mean, like if Rock on Gibbo's just starting, but charging stuff, I think you've got to be a little bit more.
But you've got to have some rules in place.
I don't think you can say I want the money up front. I think there's got to be a certain amount of trust, and then if that trust gets,
if you know the person, yes, absolutely, you could. There is trust. But if someone's reaching out to you via your Facebook page, there is no trust, because you don't know that person from Adam.
Right.
My other thing would be, have a set of T's and C's, terms and conditions, that say what you are offering. You are going to play the song that they're providing you the backing track for or whatever, and you'll do, say, 2 revisions. Because otherwise, what's going to happen is they're going to come back to you and say, "Oh yeah, bar 3, that wasn't what I wanted. Oh, at bar 7, that wasn't what I wanted." You're going to be going round and round in circles for weeks. Have some basic T's and C's. Once you talk to the person for more, say, I'm doing this, I'm explaining this as if I don't know the person. If you know the person and you know what they want, it's easy. When I work with Paul, it's easy. I know roughly what he wants from the track. We might be sort of finessing a few things. But if you're working with someone and it's on spec via Facebook or via a website or whatever, make sure you know what they want and what you're going to give them as part of the contract. Just hopefully that helps.
Shahar says, regarding stock Explorer pickups, burst bucker 3s and 2s.
Oh.
I'm surprised you're not getting enough oomph out of them. Well, you could try. So, if you want to stick to Gibson pickups, Shahar, have a look at custom buckers. Although I think if you don't like those, I think you should probably look elsewhere. And I honestly, I really recommend those the Pete Thorn Thornbuckers. Nice. David says, I'm thinking of pulling the trigger on a Kemper, but not sure between powered or not. Thoughts or don't? I can't say too much. Hold off. That's all I can say.
Moving swiftly on.
I can't. Wait a bit. Lee, Thornbucker for the win. Still stands stellar in his jet. There we go. Thornbuckers. Even Lee says they are stonkers.
Interestingly, K-Michael P is about to say something that we were talking about before we came on air. 50 watts versus 100 watts is only 3 dB louder.
And I still don't understand the difference between. And we need someone probably to come on and explain to us exactly the difference between decibels and volume.
I kind of explain it as volume.
No, we need someone. We need someone.
Yeah.
We need someone to come on. So yes,
the problem is it's like saying my car does 100. Well, 100 what? Rabbits per guinea pig, meters per second, years per century. You've got to qualify it, and that's what a dB is a ratio. It's no more than that. You then qualify it by saying, is it dBA, dBu, dBV? All these other letters, all the suffixes are really important.
Yeah. It's yes, but from the test we did yesterday, that you'll see, Actually, no, you'll see on the second video where we did like all the different wattage of amps and stuff. There's not massive a difference between 100 watt to a 50 to a 35 to a 15. There's not a massive difference. I mean, it's basically headroom. But even so, the Matches, which is 35, that one, 35 watts, to me had more headroom than the Marshalls.
Yes,
the least headroom was that thing.
It didn't feel, and I think this is the difference to me, it didn't feel like the Matchless was being driven right on the edge of what it could possibly handle, even though it was maxed out. Whereas the Marshalls, when they were fully cranked, were like, we're only just holding this together.
Yeah. That is exactly.
And the two little 15s were like, oh my God, I know we can keep this up, but it was a real struggle.
Yeah. That's exactly how it felt. That's right.
The sweet spot for all of them was quite a chunk down.
Yeah.
From they still sounded blisteringly loud, and that sweet spot was still hot.
And that's the thing. It's not like, 5 is half volume and then 10 is double that. It's not that. It ends up that you get to about 6 or 7, and funny enough on all the amps, and then you're pushing it past that, and it just pushes the power amps into.
It's more power amp saturation, isn't it? Exactly. More fuzz, more flab from the power amps.
Yeah. Zpep says, been playing my new telly with the wide range humbuckers, and I think they're great. What's your opinion on those? So James has got wide range on his
thin line. It's great.
Yeah.
Same guitar, but with a Fender sticker on the top. Great guitar, brilliant guitar. I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Another auction find.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Warmouth guitar.
Nice.
Oh, that's really
never
nice.
Heard of them.
Warmouth, yes, you have. It's a parts caster.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, Warmouth are they sell, like, you can buy a body, you can buy really good quality stuff. But you buy
just speaking of things like that, I have a date for everyone's diary. 25th, 26th of February this year in Birmingham, England, is the Great British Guitar Show.
Ooh,
I will be there.
I'll be there. Are you doing anything there?
I'm exhibiting. Yes.
What are you exhibiting?
Pedals and stuff.
I know you're doing it for. Anyway, swiftly on.
You can come and make peace.
No, we've fallen out.
No one falls out in this industry.
Next one.
No, but last weekend of February, Birmingham.
Lee says, I reckon Ribera is another guitar deal with someone, and they want exclusivity. I couldn't agree more. Do you know what? Okay, let's go through some names. Well, actually, I reckon he probably could get to some of the big names now.
I was going to say he could probably get
like
Reverend for some reason.
No,
bigger than that.
Oh, bigger than that.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
PRS then probably.
No, I reckon it will be someone like. Well, if I reckon it'll be someone like Ibanez.
Ibanez will be my next shout. Yeah.
Or if we're going a bit more boutiquey than that, I'd say Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, yes. Mayonnaise, but not a big company, but a smaller.
Yeah.
I would say that. And good luck to good luck to he's fantastic.
They don't get much bigger than Ibanez, though.
No, if I had the choice of going for a smaller company, then I don't think it would be. I don't think it would do him good to go for Ibanez. I think it would just get lost in the.
He's not Petrucci, is he? He's not Petrucci or Vi. That's the problem.
Well, Petrucci's first endorsement was Ibanez, wasn't it? But Vi Satriani, and the polyfiller guys.
They speak very highly of you too.
Oh, no, I think they're fantastic. We're only taking the mickey out of the name. They're amazing. But yes. Anyway, next one. Andreas says, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, Andreas. HB. What's he driving there? Looks fast, whatever it is. Anything with a bit of red on it, you know it's going to be fast. HB says, Film at Night did an excellent video explaining all the insider reasons why people may leave a brand endorsement. Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, Film at Night, he makes great content. He's 50% owner of both now. Oh, there we go. Interesting. Let me have a look. Chris B says this may give him a better distribution and manufacturing in the US.
That's
true, actually. That's true.
Yeah.
Could just be that, couldn't it? I think he just wanted a high-end US built guitar brand under his belt too. Interesting. It's just business, guys. No, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Ghost Fret. Thank you. What's a Ghost Fret? No, absolutely. Shut up, Ghost Fret. It's nothing. It's just a bit strange, I think, to bring out a boutique British made guitar that's really expensive and then just to instantly go, oh, just put another company. It just seems like you should.
Timing could be better, couldn't it?
I think the timing could have been a bit better on that. But anyway, David says, didn't Robert have a percentage in Chapman? Oh,
I don't know. I know him and Rob go way back.
Yes. I think it's more quality control issues.
Well, that's definitely been proven by various people.
Yeah. What's that? Sorry, David. Okay, Lee says, I don't think so, David. Just Rob and Lee Anderton. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. I love Ola, but his solo guitars are not that good. The fretwork was atrocious. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's been said millions of times before, you get what you pay for. It's true. You do get what you pay for.
That is very, very true. I think we should do this next one. Then we should jump into the news. Because
there's a hell of a lot of news.
Right.
Pet says, I bought an AKG 414 for 600 squids a year back. And I'm seeing them for sale on Anderton's for 1,000 plus change.
Yeah.
I'm not selling mine, but it's nice to know the value of gear. I really like 414s, but why is that, James? Why are they doing that?
Because everything's going up.
Yeah, we're nearly 40% up.
Yeah, electricity's gone up 200% in this country. It's commerce, unfortunately. It's just the way it's going. It's brutal. The AKG, who are part of Harman.
Yeah.
I think they're part of Harman. Sure, they are, aren't they? Of course they are. Just in the numbers have just gone to the point where if you want a C414, we bought a pair last year, and we're going to sell them and make a killing on them. I'm not a great fan of 414s, but that's because
I really like 414s.
That's because everyone uses. No, the new ones are not so great. I like the brass capsule or the mylar capsule, not the plastic capsules you get now. But that's a whole microphone snobbery thing. And at this point, we should invite Matt onto the show because he's here. Ta-da!
Hello, mate.
Sorry. There we go.
You all right? You're good.
Hi, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, buddy.
While I remembered, James, you've got a SSL, haven't you? UF8.
I have, yes.
Have you seen the email from SSL to say you can get 6 months of all their plugins for free?
I haven't, but to be fair, I've got NFRs for them anyway, just because of.
Oh, okay.
But if they are doing that, that's great because they are really good. The drum channel is really good. Yeah,
well, because when you get a UF8, you get the drum channel and the vocal. I think it might be a vocal strip or something.
Yeah.
But I had an email off them, and if you've bought one, they basically give you a free license for 6 months to everything.
That's
cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
really great.
The other thing that anyone who buys a UF8 should do is hold on one second. Let me just get it. Talk about yourselves a minute.
Are you all right? So let's have a look at the Gretsch. Just while you're there.
Yeah, the Gretsch I'd come to show you.
Look at that bad boy. So is this the custom shop one?
This is it's a master built. It's a
master built one, yeah.
Yeah, Stephen Stern. It's a 68. Is that right? No, 58. Sorry.
Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, really nice. I forgot to show it when I first got it.
And
But,
is that your number one now?
Yeah, I mean, I've got the Gibson here, which is great.
That's beautiful.
But the Gibson's it's a very dark sounding guitar, and it's because it's got the Veritone on it, it's stereo as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
So I've got a stereo lead, but weirdly I have to, if I have both of the volumes full up on 10, it goes out of phase. So you have to roll one of the volumes down ever so slightly to sort of get that blended tone if you're on the middle pickup. And then the Veritone switch, it just basically kind of rolls it off.
Yeah.
So it just rolls off treble. So when I used to play with it, I just used to have a mono lead going in when I played with it live, and I'd be on the bridge pickup essentially, but then I'd just roll the Veritone down to 2 or 3 and it would just bring in a little bit of the treble as well. But yeah, it's one of those things where I kind of think I should maybe get it modded to be a mono guitar, so it's just a straight 3-way switch.
But then
but it would affect the value because it's a 66. It's an old one. So.
Yeah, 66. It's almost. Yeah, you've either just got to go, I'm just going to keep it as it is, or you've got to go, do you know what? I'm not using it because it's not practical, and you just got to sell it and get something fantastic. But then you probably always go, oh, I wish I'd hung on to that.
Yeah, well, there is a big story behind it, which
is there.
Don't necessarily bore you with now, but yeah. Well, the very, very quick version is I inherited some money when I was about 20 from my grandma, and I've always been a massive Smiths fan. And I had a photograph in a book of Johnny Marr with one of these guitars, 355, and it was on tour in America. And I didn't know what it was because I was just a young 20-year-old lad. So I went to a guitar shop in Doncaster and I said, I want that guitar. What is it? And they said, oh, Johnny was only in the other day. That's a blah, 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 blah. And they hadn't got one in the shop. So they then searched for it and they found one in Italy. They said, do you want it? And I said, yes. They imported it. And I then did an extra 6 months in Sainsbury's pushing. Because it was about.
I was going to say 6 months in Parkhurst at one point, but
Parkhurst, no. And I bought it, and then weirdly, many years later, he signed it for me. So
nice.
Yeah, so it's got a lot of sentimental value, and it's the one I went on tour with that, and it was on videos and stuff, and
probably worth a lot more than you paid for it.
Well, I paid 1,700 quid, and it's either now I think it's either between 12 and 17 grand because it's not mint, but the mint ones go for about 17 at 66. Yeah, it's just crazy, isn't it?
That's a good investment. What a great investment.
Yeah, and
so
it's beautiful.
Speaking of investments, the thing I said that if you are an SSL UF8 user, you need one of these.
Oh, what's that?
This is by a company called Deck Saver, and they started out as a company who make vacuum molding plastic covers for DJ decks, but they've started doing loads of studio kit as well. And basically, it's a dust cap for a UF8.
Oh, great!
And they're about 40. It's about 40 quid for a piece of vacuum molded plastic, but it clips on really nicely, and it's just there, and it doesn't stop the faders doing stuff. So if it's next to me, it's not getting full of sawdust and wood shavings.
Yeah,
but it is protecting the faders and protecting the knobs and stuff from random sticks and stuff. But they also do them for Boss pedals and for Boss multi effects and stuff. They do loads of different things. So the company's called Deck Saver.
Awesome.
Oh, very good.
Really good thing.
There you go. So what was the UF8 question?
There wasn't one. I was just telling James about the 6-month freebie.
I see. Excellent.
And then the final thing was that I wanted to thank you for last time I came on. because I was talking to you about the Axe effects and the amps, and me not being able, I kind of used the Axe effects, loved it. Its sound was incredible, and the feel was 95% of a tube amp. And then when I started playing with my different guitars, I ended up going back to a normal amp so I could just twiddle the knobs.
And why not? And do you know, so do you know what I've done?
What have you done?
So recently, this is what so I've now got my matchless going into the Two Notes Torpedo, going into the Axe effects. So I can still have a silent stage, but use the matchless with the Two Notes Torpedo, which to me is fantastic for like the actual sound, the speaker emulation that comes out of that, and then using the effects on the Axe effects, and it sounds to me it sounds fantastic.
Well, I did actually run mine through the aux, and then the aux was going into the Axe effects.
Perfect. And you didn't like it?
And it sounded great. The problem I had was I realized that I was basically spending all of my time with a mouse trying to get a Fender tone. And I changed my guitars. So anyway, if I tilt that down, the
hello.
Oh, what the hell?
So this
how old is that?
Is a 1968 Super Reverb.
You got a Super, wow.
That's what we were talking about yesterday. That's the Stevie Ray app, isn't it?
I've never seen a brown one. I've never seen a brown one.
Now this is brown just because it's the Tolex has been changed on it.
Okay.
But the reason why I bought it was I think it was in '68 the Fender moved to the silver face circuit from the black face circuit.
Yeah.
But this is a black face circuit, which is my favorite Fender circuit.
Yeah.
And the reason why I got this was because my friend in Cardiff, I was talking to him about it, and I said, well, what does it sound like? And he said, well, it was a guy called Anthony, I think, from one of the sort of Guitar Tech Tube type places. And anyway, this guy looked after Jimmy Page, not Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page's amps for his whole career. And he'd obviously serviced loads of these Super Reverbs. And he did this one for Mike and then sent it to him. And he said, you know what? It's the best Super Reverb I've ever heard in my life. And ironically, it was cheaper than my Axe effects. Yeah, because a Super Reverb isn't, vintage Super Reverbs aren't super expensive. If you go for a deluxe or a Princeton, then they're like twice as much.
So, but that's a 4x10, yeah?
Yeah, it's a 4x10. It's 40 watts, so it's mega loud. But
It's the loudest. I used to play in a band with a guy who used one on stage, and it was the loudest amp I've ever heard.
I mean, I haven't actually heard how loud it is because I just go into my aux.
Yeah.
But interestingly, I attenuate on my aux normally to 2. I think you go to 2, don't you, Paul, when you put your mouth. On this, I go to 3, and it's still quieter than my matchless, which is a 30-watt amp.
Right. I think the matches. I mean, I think we found that out yesterday. I think the matches are really loud.
Yeah. Well, the matchless is louder than that.
Yeah. They are. They're stonkingly loud. Yeah.
But what's great about it is it's got the normal channel and it's got the vibrato channel, and the normal channel's kind of quite a nice mellow tone, and then the vibrato channel's got a little bit more punch to it. But then it's got 2 bright switches as well.
Great.
And then the inputs, you've got a 1 and a 2, which is like the vintage thing of if you've got single coils, you go into 1, which is slightly higher than if you've got the humbuckers, you go into 2, and it just drops it down. But as soon as I got this, just turning the knobs, I know it sounds silly, but just a small amount, and you could just hear the change, and I was like, that's the right thing for me.
Yeah, definitely. No, without a doubt. So have you sold the Axe effects?
The Axe effects went, yeah.
Right.
But again, to a guy that, he came on the same day and picked it up, and for him it was perfect, and that was great. Yeah, he was going to gig with it.
You didn't lose money on it?
Not much, no.
Great,
no.
fantastic.
I mean, I paid a good price for it, but it was, it was a really nice unit. So, I lost a little bit, but not much. So,
Fantastic. Oh, well done, mate. Good job. I'm very jealous.
Anyway,
and it fits perfectly under that soundboard. That's great.
it does. It fits, but it's big.
They are big. They're big old lumps.
Yeah.
Nice one, mate. Well, congratulations.
No, and thanks again, and happy New Year.
Yeah,
and,
Thank you, buddy.
how's Harrison, by the way? Is he doing well?
He's doing. Yes, he's doing well. We've got some more things to deal with, but yes, thanks, mate. Yes, all good.
No, great. Yeah.
All right, mate. Take
Okay.
care. Thanks again.
Cheers.
Yeah, buddy.
Bye, mate.
Okie dokie. Should we do the news while we're here?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Sure. Okay, so here's the Rob Chapman thing. There's the ghost fart, as Shahar calls it. Ghost fart. Yeah. Anyway, so the PRS SE DGT.
Yeah,
I think that's going to do so well. Don't know how much are they? They look a bit funny to me. I can't quite get it hasn't got the carved top on it that the American ones have got.
right.
So it's got a funny look about it that I'm not so sure of. But price wise, are they saying how much they are? No.
$1 million.
$1 million. No. Okay. Ibanez Axe Design Lab.
Am I allowed to like that?
Well, I think you would, because it's your sort of guff
Yeah.
that you sort of go for.
I like the red one.
Yeah. Just
The red, actually, the red and the purple on the far left, I really like.
It's just I can't quite get my head around the wonky frets.
I've never played I've played a fan fret bass, but never played fan fret guitar.
That's weird, isn't it? That one there almost looks gemish,
Yeah,
doesn't it? It's weird, isn't it?
just needs the monkey grip, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's got gold frets apparently. Did it say gold frets? Did I see that somewhere? I don't know. I mean, it's not my.
There's way too many strings on those for me.
Yeah, it's difficult because it's not fair that I don't feel like I can objectively comment, because it's definitely.
I like the way they look. I liked that purpley color one on the first pick, the top picture. That they are very super strat, aren't they? Let's face it. That's those two you've just gone past, the white one and the black one at the bottom, look very JS, don't they? Very Satriani. I
don't get it. I don't get. The only thing is this is this is what happened in the 80s and 90s. Ibanez brought out guitars that looked like that, and then it lasted for a couple of years, and then you couldn't do anything. No one wanted them. That's the thing. That's the thing that worries me about.
I was looking at a meme of the original Masters of the Universe series, as He-Man and Skeletor.
Yeah.
And the meme said, "Do you realize in 7 years' time, the 1980s were 50 years ago?"
Jeez, scary, isn't it?
So all of a sudden saying, "Oh, that they were around in the 80s and the 90s, mate, that's quite a while ago now."
And that's fair enough, and they're vintage now, I guess. So I guess you've got a point. And to me, it only seems like yesterday, but
I know it feels like 5 minutes ago that we were at the end of the 90s and we were looking at Marshall JC 900s and going,
it's not doing. And I get vintage guitars. People want vintage guitars, but that's, to me, this isn't doing anything. People want vintage guitars because they want that old look, and maybe this is the new old look. But these are like modern guitars, and they still look like. I just don't get it. But anyway, Ibanez also brought out this Pentatone, which is a drive pedal. It sounded really good, actually.
Lots of control on it.
Yeah, lots of control. It's very new metal. It's new metal.
Right.
That's not even fair now, is it? New metal's not new metal. But what I mean, it's very modern metal.
Modern, yeah. It's very, very scooped.
Well, not even that. It's actually got well. I mean, you can scoop it, but it's got that. The sound of your Tremonti.
Yeah.
Amp. It's got that sort of cutting mid. It sounds a lot like that. €239.
Not bad.
So Catlin Bread had brought out the 51, the Neil Young style tweed amp, tweed champ tones in the stomp box.
Right.
It's more or less the same. What they called the Eastern Pedal Company. The what's the model called? Just give me 2 seconds. I'll get it out.
Oh,
This one.
he's turned the wander off.
Yeah, there we go. So the Great Eastern Pedal Company, which is a British company, brought out this. Can you see me? I can't see.
Yeah, we see you. Yeah, we see you.
Okay, called the small speaker overdrive.
Yeah.
Which again was supposed to emulate the tweed, the smaller tweed champ.
Yeah.
And that sounds really, really good.
The amp I sold for £25.
What's that? The amp you sold for 25 quid. That was crazy.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, that's that. Cypress guitars, and so this is the company that Chapman's bought into. I mean, I don't like them.
They look a bit like come on, brain. Not
the carving, the Kiesels.
Kiesels, that's the one. Yeah,
yeah, they look like Kiesels. Yeah, it's that sort of thing. But I think a lot of these do.
Yeah,
that's quite different. Yeah, I mean, they're obviously very metal.
Yeah, you're not going to send them to a jazz gig in one of those, are you?
No. I mean, I don't like.
Not cheap though.
No, they're not cheap at all. They're not cheap. They do a USA line and a Hades line, which are a lot more reasonable.
Still not cheap though.
No, and I imagine these are. Oh, look at that ghost fart. Look at that. That's very strange, isn't it? Because that looks like
it looks like it twists beautifully, but I think that's probably interesting machining. But it's great. Yeah. I like that in a weird sort of way.
Yeah, and they're these are made in Korea. These ones.
All right.
So anyway, there's something. I wonder if they're made in the same factory as Chapman, and that's how he got to know them. Anyway, who knows? Speculation. Stuff. Stop screaming. There we go.
There we go. Right. Let's get back on it. We've got half an hour to get through all these questions.
Here
we go. Go.
It's not a Qualitar issue. It's almost certainly a contract-based issue. One of the issues Film at Night discussed is that sometimes a manufacturer can't keep up with the production demands.
I don't think that's the case in this case.
I think there has definitely been quality issues with Chapman guitars.
Yes.
At some point and stuff. So, but then I guess there's been quality issues.
There's been probably issues with Gibsons. Let's face it.
So, what can we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Wright says Lover Beer is playing. Don't we all? Absolutely fantastic. He's been my main inspiration for a good couple of years now. I reckon he's off to Madness. Yeah, Madness. I think Madness is a good shout. At which point the bottleneck in royalties is literally the factory not being able to make them, and that's frustrating for an artist to lose out on percentage because your model can't be made.
Yeah, if we were talking about John Mayer, I would possibly agree. It could be that way around.
I agree.
As much as I think Rabea is incredible, worldwide, I don't think he's got the same name as John Petrucci or John Mayer or anybody else with John we want to think of.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Lee says mayonnaise or PRS. So we're all saying mayonnaise. PRS. You need to PRS. I think it'd be amazing if they take him on in PRS. I think that would do him the world of good.
Or it could be like when, and this is say a drumming equivalent, when Gilson Lavis joined, as in he originally of Squeeze and then Jules Holland joined DW. On a DW roster, he is so far down the list.
Sure.
Whereas on a British Drum Company roster or a Cambridge Drum Company roster, he's right at the top.
Yeah.
Now, where would you rather be? Would you rather be the big fish in the small pond or the minnow in the ocean on the roster of Indoor Seas?
That's a good shout. Just before we go to Lee, just go down to the next question.
I will do that.
HB says he's been talking Strandberg. I'm guessing that would make a lot of sense as well. Strandberg would be.
Yeah.
Strandberg would. I could definitely see him doing Strandberg because he's been doing stuff with the Australian guitar player. Anyway, what's his name? Pliny. Yes. So that's good. Next one. Anyway, Mr. Braham.
Hello there. I wasn't sure whether to come on or not because I know you're short of time.
Come on, mate. No, mate. Come on.
Keep going till we're done.
The only reason I said PRS about Rabir is because he got given a PRS a little while ago, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, he got given a PRS Paul's guitar.
I know he swapped. I know he swapped a guitar for a PRS Paul's guitar.
Oh, okay. He gave the impression at the time when he got it that he was given it.
Oh, then that's different. Then that's something different to what I know.
Yeah.
Then I think and as I said, I think PRS would be I think it'd be good for them and good for him. I think that'd be.
Yeah. And as for the Australian guy Pliny, I actually mixed him on an album before anybody knew who he was.
Did you?
I did, yeah. Long time ago, about 15 years ago. Right, so after Matt's been on, and with his Fender amp that probably weighs the same as a small family car, and probably costs the same as well. Welcome to Cheapside, gentlemen.
Yes.
Here we are.
So
I can play the Cheapside game as well. I just buy vintage stuff from auctions that's cheap.
Did it actually say that his amp was owned by Jimmy Page? Was that Jimmy Page's amp? I didn't quite catch that.
Jimmy Page's tech, I think, had worked on it.
Oh,
I think that was
right. But Johnny Marr had signed his guitar, though, didn't he?
Yes.
It was the same.
Probably the sad thing is probably putting Johnny Marr's signature on it has probably actually decreased it in value.
Probably.
That's the sad thing.
But not
especially
for
10 years' time when everybody says, "Well, who's Johnny Marr?"
I guess.
Well, I've bought something recently to go with my Boss GT1, and of course, as everybody knows, my Boss GT1 used to be owned by Paul Drew of the Studio Rats.
Did he sign it? Thus halving it in value.
Jesus, that would definitely halve in value.
No, I don't think he did. No, I'll send it back to you, Paul, if you could. Did I mention to you that I've been using this with an external IR pedal?
You did. I can't remember what it was, but you definitely did.
Because I just found that the speaker tones in there were a little bit kind of plasticky and a bit cheap sounding. Yeah. Oh, they sound good, but and I bought one of these, which is one of these Flammer FS07 cab pedals, because it's got 2 outs on it. So I was looking for something with 2 outs because I want obviously one to go to the PA and one to go to my in-ear monitors. But
can you have separate cabs in each?
You can actually. You can. Yeah, you can. But this thing is a real pig for being picky about power supplies. It's awful. Yeah, it's just awful. You just get a real terrible whining noise, and you change the power supply over to something else, and it's slightly reduced, but it's still there. Do you know? And it's kind of like, oh, for God's sake, I really can't be asked. So I've gone out and bought another one. I've gone out and bought one of these.
Ooh, not that bad, boy.
Yeah, so this has got the regular array of cabs and microphone selections that you can have on it, but it's also got power amp, and it's switchable as well. So you can just have the cab on, or you can just have the power amp on, or of course you can have both. And you can switch between, can't really see it there, EL34, 6V6 and EL84s.
Nice.
Ooh. And you've got the central middle edge of the cone for the usual microphone thing. But one of the reasons why I bought this was because obviously I was using a separate DI box when I go out live. This has got the XLR on the side.
Ah, very handy.
Nice. So it's got regular jack output on the back, which I can use for my ears. And it's got DI as well. And they both run at the same time, which is great. And it runs on 9 volts. So it's nothing stupid like, oh, well, it only takes 12 volts or it only takes 18 volts or, runs on 9 volt. And it sounds really good. I've not geeked with it yet, but it sounds really good. So, yeah. Nice. And it was 120 quid.
Look at that. Nice
so
job.
Can't go wrong, can you?
It looks a bit like the controls on it look a bit like Thomas Blue created something that was a bit like that.
Yeah, I've had one of those. Yeah, the blue box. Yeah,
Blue box. That was it.
yeah, the blue box was good, but you couldn't load your own into it.
And you can with that.
Yeah, you can with this. Yeah,
That's
and
great.
the blue box, I only thought only had one good sound in it, which was
Right.
the vintage 30s. All the other cabs sounded.
There's irony.
Yeah, all the other ones just sounded a bit weird and a bit odd, you know. And he was saying, "Oh yes, you know, this is all my vintage cabinet collection, you know, that I've put into this box. Oh, and also I put some vintage 30s in it, and it was the vintage 30s that sounded the best."
Funny.
But, so you're on the move then? You wanted to ask me about Hampshire, did you?
Yes, I'll do that. I'll do that offline.
Yeah. All right. Send me a Facebook message or something.
Yeah. I'll do that. We're going down at the weekend.
He's missing out on a gig to go house hunting.
Well, no. And it's my nephew's. It's my nephew's birthday, so we've got to go down and look after the dog. So I'm missing out on a gig, which is a bit of a shame. But yes, if I'll after the weekend I'll text you, because I think we're literally just going at the moment. It's just like, no, we're just going Lymington and that's it. But God, it's expensive down there.
Yeah, it is.
I watched a house buying thing the other day, and it was just after Christmas, and it said the three most desirable places to live at the moment, believe it or not, are York, Lymington, and Great Dunmow.
Not Sandbanks. It's always been Sandbanks for years.
Sandbanks is too expensive.
Sandbanks might be the most expensive. I think Sandbanks had the most expensive real estate.
Because they're all like 15 bedrooms and enormous. It's not like just because the average 4-bedroom family house is really, really expensive. It's because the places are palatial.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Lovely.
All right, chaps. All right, I'll let
Cheers,
you
mate. See you, mate.
Cheers.
Take care, mate.
Buddy. That's nice to have a few faces on tonight, isn't it? Rather than just you and I wittering on. Here we go. Boom. Let's get on. Let's get on.
Shahar, he says, I agree, but the headless guitars are fugly. Yeah, they sound great. If you're, yeah.
I'm not quite sure why people with headless guitars always wrap those kind of 80s wristbands around the top. I know what that does.
Wraps. Someone mentioned wraps. Some a bit further down.
I know what they do, but they always look like someone's got a "let's get physical" one of those towel and wristbands around the top.
I hear you.
Katana's never a truer word has been said tonight.
Yeah. HB says they're functionally better. What's functionally better?
I'm guessing Strandberg's probably, yeah.
They might be functionally better, but then anyway, I've done a review on. I was impressed with what I did. With what I did, I wouldn't keep it for the world. HB says no need to worry about string damping before the bridge or after the nut. Bruce says, need to fix the Marshall. No charge for you guys. Just drop off in New York.
There is that minor problem. It would probably cost more in excess baggage than it would for Steve's dad to look at it.
And he'd have to get a 120 to 240.
Yeah, well, that sort of stuff. No, there's a switch on the back of them.
Is there?
Most Marshalls have got a switch.
Even that old?
Even that old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Keith Musician says, morning from New Zealand. Good morning, Keith. What colour green is the green strap? This one.
Oh. Why did I think you sold that?
No, I haven't sold it.
Well, obviously not.
Good question. Is it candy apple green? I think it was candy apple green.
It's Incredible Hulk green. That's what it is.
It's Incredible Hulk.
Whereas the other one was Iron Man red.
Yes. HP. Not to mention they're lighter and less neck divey. I went over all the problems. The main problem with Strandberg is because they're so light. If you vibrato on it, the whole thing is just moving. It's just It's got no stability. They're too. There's not enough mass.
Right.
I think they're great. They're great for what they are. One of the best Chaney. I don't know, but
Sure.
one of the best. Here we go. Danny says, one of the best channels here on YouTube. I like all your review. Cheers, Danny. That's very nice, you mate. Thank you very much. Pet says, my Swiss Thing pedal is 2 loops. 1 for drive, 2 for modulation effects. To use delay, etc. in stereo, though, you have to bypass loop 2 and come out after loop A, B before the amps. Nice.
I'll nod and agree because I got lost at hello, but
No, awesome. Convert it to fiber pickup. Will retain the single coil sound with much better clarity. There you go. Superjet 113, dog ear pickups, P90s.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here? We're talking about what guitar?
Probably suggestions for P90s. We were talking about P90s earlier, weren't we?
Don't think there's no dog ears on. Actually, what guitar are we talking about? Oh no, it's a Les Paul, wasn't it? No,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a dog ear on because it looks like the a BFG Les Paul, which they're not dog ear. Rock on Gibbo. I like the Franlin hum cancelling P90 pickups. I have a pair of them in a Strat. Nice. That would be the 490 and 498. They're the pickups they have on the studios. Thanks, Michael. Yes, absolute beasties, and not in a good way.
Mine went in the bin.
Yeah. Have you tried adding bass tone control to your guitar, like on GNLs? It's actually a bass cut, great for tightening up the bottom end, especially on humbuckers. New dimension for the neck pickup. Oh, nice one. I've never thought of doing that. I didn't know that was on the GNLs, actually. Brent, very nice guitar. What guitar are we talking about?
Probably talking about Matt's 355. 355?
Oh, yeah. Well, it could be, or there could be the Telly, that's Squire Telly.
Yeah.
John, afternoon, fellow guitarist. Afternoon, John. Timothy's in the house. He says, I have a Harley Benton T30 that after fret end filed and fret polish, it surprised the heck out of me. Nice one. Yeah, as I'm learning, it seems that the cheap guitars with a great setup can be fantastic. He's in the market for PRSS too. Nice one, mate. You like that? Ned says, my Telly Deluxe 70s is a Squire classic vibe. Might be my favorite guitar. It resonates and plays really nicely. Look at that.
Do you remember when we did the Telly shop for your mate at Guitar? That class, I remember that Classic Vibes Telly was one of the front runners.
It's great, wasn't it? Yeah, great guitars. Guy B says, "Hi guys, I wanted an offset style guitar for a while, so I bought myself a Squire Classic Vibe Jazzmaster in Lake Placid Blue. Nice. I'm so impressed with it. I'm playing it more than my American Strat. Look at that. Yeah, I love his cats. Cats love an amp, don't they? Sit on top of an amp, nice and warm and toasty.
Nice and warm.
Jim says hello from Detroit. Hi, Jim.
We bought Lucy a cat for Christmas.
Right.
But it's a fake cat.
It
sits on her bed and it breathes.
Yes. Yeah, no.
No, not really. Bloody horrible thing. Because the mechanics in it sound like it's purring. It's really weird.
Oh yeah, no. HB says, Timothy, consider a Vela. I picked one up for $800 last year, and they can be had very cheap and are amazing guitars. Nice. Well, I like the Velas. I like the shape, a bit different. Jim says, Timothy, I have an S2 Custom 22 and prefer it over my C24. Great guitars. I really like C24s. Like the bolt-on neck idea. Mendel, Happy New Year, and to you, Mendel. Tim says, hello, HB. Yes, that is such a nice guitar. I've been watching some vids. And I think they're talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, they are. They're nattering out. That was good. It's all good.
Okay, I'm still talking amongst themselves. Andreas says, James, when you track guitars with a mic in front of a cab, how do you avoid the track bleeding into the mic or prevent the mic feeding back into monitors? Are your cabs in another room? Thanks.
I will show you how I avoid the track getting back into the microphone in front of the cabinet.
Can I just say, I don't think if you close mic a cab,
it's not a massive problem.
It's you can if you can hear it at all, I'd be very. If you've got like a 57 on your cab, in the same room,
and you've got any amount of beans going on, it's not much of an issue.
It's not going to pick. It doesn't pick up the monitors.
Although, funnily enough, obviously we had the cab set up here somewhere, and the mic next to it. You could hear us talking occasionally on it.
Could you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not massively, because obviously the gain was well down because the volume on those amps was well up, but you could hear it.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Jim says, Timothy, no issues. Bruce, we'll play for food and sex. The hell with money. Gavin Harrison was £400 a song 15 years ago. 15 years ago.
Yeah, but he, I mean, I can play, but Gavin Harrison is a drumming god.
That's not bad though, is it? 400 quid 15 years ago. What's he charge now? Wow. There we go. Still talking amongst themselves.
Yarp.
Ilmiras Chermatulinus. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Good and proper. Apologies. But lovely to have you along. He said, what if I offer a service no one else in my continent offers? There we go.
Well, if it's on the internet, it doesn't matter where you are. That's the problem these days. But if you are offering something that no one else offers, then you name your price. As long as people, if you have something that people want and they can't get it from anyone else, name your price.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, because supply and demand. If you've got the only supply and people are demanding it, cha-ching.
Absolutely. Ned says, redoing mates favors and working for free. Supposedly Josh Newton of China isn't building his bandmates pedal board for free. He's a pro tech. Can't be giving it away for free. It's a lot of work. There we go.
Yeah. There's a lot of chatting going on and we like that.
HB says the Stock Explorer pickup should be pretty pokey. The burst buckers are not going to give you more than the 496 500s or 7 distributes. Oh God, the 496. Oh, I hate those things.
There's still more chatting going on.
Wait for what? You said that last live show. Wait, I can't remember what that was about.
I mean, the only thing I say is, yeah, your big reveal that you can't reveal in a big way because we're all under NDA.
Oh, okay, yes. Maybe that's what it was. Yes,
maybe that's what it was.
Apologies, I don't say things to
be obtuse.
Yes, I'm just yes.
I
know what it was. Yes.
We have to be careful because there's often stuff in our rooms that you guys shouldn't see.
Yes. And yes, and we've nearly got in trouble a few times. And it's not us trying to hide stuff. We just can't because there's contracts that are signed that we're not allowed to show stuff. Danny says, do you think there is much difference between the Boss GT1000 core and the Fractal FM3? The FM3, is the FM3 really on another planet compared to the Boss? No, there's not a massive difference. I think the GT1000 core is different because you can have 2 amps at once. The FM3 can only have 1 amp running at once, so I think that makes a difference. And in that concern, I think the Boss GT1000 does do a better thing. Is there a big difference between the GT1000 core and an XFX3? Yes,
but there also is when it comes to cost as well.
It's a massive difference in cost. Both are great. And if you played it on a on an album or live, I don't think anyone would go, "Oh, that one sounds so much better." But there is a difference. HB has to do with watts, RMS, and the 0.707 factor. Increasing wattage is on a negatively exponential curve for increasing actual perceived volume. Well, there you go.
Yep.
Tim, so that's nice guitar, isn't it? Tim says, dB is not a linear function. It takes double the power wattage to create what science says is a perceptible change in volume, which happens to be 3 dB. There we go. Bruce, you have to go 10 times the dB to double the volume. 100 dB is twice the volume is 10 dB. There we go.
Yes, that's pretty much it.
That's what
Now, what was interesting was all those amps were all firing, let's just say, between, I mean, even the 15 all the way up to the hundreds were all firing when on full tilt between 105 and 119 dB.
Yeah. That's all.
Which is a lot, but it isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. And there was a lot of variation in value between those amps.
Yeah. Tonex versus S-Gear, Paul. Oh, good question. So Tonex is a profiler.
Mm-hmm.
I like both. So you can't do things with Tonex that you can with S-Gear and vice versa. If you've got great amps, or you want to profile those great amps, or you know of some profiles, Tonex is really good. S-Gear, the effects in S-Gear, I think, are fantastic. The effects in S-Gear are way better than like the reverb and stuff in S-Gear.
Considering S-Gear is getting on a bit now, it still holds up really well.
Yeah, the S-Gear effects are way better than for me than the Tonex, the reverb and stuff. Daniel says Schecter was the one that comes up a lot. I wonder if that's for Rabir.
Yeah, I think it is. Schecter.
Ibanez, I think Ibanez is a good shout, or Charvel. Charvel, possibly. I think he's going to go a bit more boutique than Charvel.
Yeah, Mayonnaise does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all. Hello from Nashville, says Seb. Hi, Seb. Hope you're well. Abassi.
Never heard of them.
Again, it could be. Abassi Concepts. Toast and Abassi. No, Toast and Abassi?
No.
Yeah. Pet says, Pet's got a new picture. He says, I'll come up and fanboy you in Brum, lads. There you go.
Defo.
There we go. Love a meet up. You getting a hotel?
Yeah, I'll be up there from Friday. So do the Friday setup, then Saturday, Sunday show.
Okay.
Hopefully come back. I'll work out how I'm going to do it. I'm not sure what I need to take yet. Hopefully not too much, but
okay, nice.
There'll be about what they probably want me to do is babysit the bass rigs, because I can sit and play bass all day and not offend anybody.
Right, sure.
Whereas my guitar player, I think I'm probably actually a better bass player these days than I'm a guitar player.
Interesting.
Don't know.
Bogeyman says has to do with the logarithmic scaling of the power in dB, PDB, double power. 3 dB increases doubling power.
Yeah.
It's just gone whoosh. David says, I think Rabir will move to Harley Benton.
That would be a Harley Benton moment of the week.
That would make me laugh. That would really make me laugh. Official Michael Jr. says, do you still have your Silver Sky? Unfortunately, I don't. A great guitar though. He says, I paid $2,400 for a pair of Barefoot Footprints 02s, and now they're over £1,000 more. Nice one. It's crazy. It's crazy how much things have gone up.
The problem with Barefoots for me is they're way too smiley, but that's, everyone's got their monitors thing going
on. Seb says, any suggestions on how to get a hotter signal for passive bass? I'm using the instrument input on a Focusrite Claret 8 Pre-X, and it registers -42 on the unit until the gain is at 9.
Use an EQ pedal just to boost the level slightly.
Exactly. Yeah, you could do that. Use a preamp pedal of some sorts, or even if you've got a passive
take the line out from a bass amp.
You could do that, or if he hasn't got a line out from the bass amp, or you can get like Sadowski make bass preamps.
Yeah,
come in.
So Dark Glass as well. Dark Glass makes some great stuff.
Do they make They make bass preamps.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Bass pre pedals.
Okay. Extra context. Extra context. Our hearing is not linear. That's why we use audio taper, logarithmic pots, volume and guitar instead of linear pots. There we go. Every day is a school day. Great. Keep dust off synths too. I'm just talking about your.
They do make loads of different ones for different things. So check them out. I'm not endorsed by them. I am not getting a kickback. but I wish I did. I met the guys from Deck Saver right back at the very, very beginning of the DJ show, and I really got on with the two lads who started it. They basically bought a vacuum mold machine and started making the molds up, and I put some requests in for stuff, and then they kind of went, "Yeah, we could do that one day."
Right, let's get through these. James, can you do some blocking? Actually, I can probably do it.
We got some fun. Oh, here we go. There she is. Always the same ones as well.
So, Mr. Pickett's in the house. He's Happy New Year, guys, and to you, mate. Looking after the Vemoram and Exotic EP booster if you still want them. Side note, my lovely wife Lou bought me a 1993. What?
Woo! She's a keeper.
Damn. I love the EP boost, I think, mate. Please pass on the Vemoram, but thank you for the offer. It's just getting down to see you, mate, to be honest. The EP booster I do fancy. God, 1963 strap. Damn.
Wow, she's a keeper, definitely.
Gosh, nice one, mate. You lucky man. Can't wait to try that. We need to go down and try it out. Do a video on it. These guitars are for the Ute.
Yes, indeed.
Oliver Knight Smith says, I've got a red plate blues machine 66 for sale if you're interested. I remember you guys loving the RP in a video a while back. Yeah, really like the red plates. I don't know the 66. Actually, Clive, who owns that red plate, it was a Dumble copy thing. He was selling it. He offered to sell it, but I just can't justify it at the moment.
And when your matchless is your amp now.
Yeah, the matchless is yeah. I did like that red plate though. But
Yeah.
Thanks for the offer, Oliver. Max Hodges says, Happy New Year, boys, and to you, Max. Hello from Cincinnati, Paul. Love you playing so tasteful. Oh, that's very nice. Thanks, Eric. Very kind of you, mate. I keep fighting any advice. Yeah.
Avoid the sprouts next Christmas.
Yeah, probably avoid the sprouts. Sir, that's a good shout. You missed that one. Where's that? Hold on. Do we miss that one?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
I haven't seen it yet.
Sorry. I was too far down. What do you think of the difference between the helix effects and the fractal effects? Last time I tried them, I thought the fractal was much better, but it was years ago. Honestly, the fractal effects are outstanding. I've never heard effects like it. They're really good. Way better than helix. I've had a helix. Hollywood says, I'm late again today. Dropped in to say hi and Happy New Year and to you, Hollywood. Sorry, late to the party. Get anything cool from Santa?
Yes. And you've already seen it. My headphone stand.
There we go. It's got headphone stand. There we go.
Other than that, a hangover.
Yeah. Ned says, my old PRS SE pickups have no markings to tell them apart. One is a red main cable and the other is a black main cable. Both have one black and one white cable inside the main. Which is the bridge pickup?
The one that goes to the bridge.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. SEs, because they're not PRS pickups. Send them a message. Send PRS a message. I'm sure that they are normally really helpful. Cat Got Cream says, good morning from Singapore, rats. Happy 2023. No love for the acoustic steel string guitar. No. James and I both own a good few of them.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just not very good on it.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Just in case says, how butthurt is Rob Chapman about Rabea leaving Chapman? I reckon he definitely is.
Yes.
I reckon he definitely must be. Big name and all that. MBB, that's a nice guitar. Hi from Germany. Well, that's your actual guitar pedal board, digital analog pedals. Thanks. Well, what's your pedal? Oh, I see.
Mine are all analog front end pedals.
Yep.
And I've got a couple of digitals in my loop board, as in my effects loop board, not looping board.
Pretty much for me, I've got all analog pedals going in the front of the amp, and then the X effects is doing all of my sort of time-based effects.
Nice.
That's your stall, Justin. Andreas says, using headphones for tracking was my first guess. Do you know you missed Roman? Was that for me?
Intentionally.
Oh, okay. That's your stall, Justin. Using headphones for tracking was my first guess, but I thought you may have a separate room for cabs. I think James should have a separate room for cabs.
I think I probably will do something on the other side of that door, but there's so much work to do the other side of that door first before I can do that. It's options for later on. Quite frankly, the first thing to do is to get the floor down and to get a toilet in there.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I keep having to run at the house.
Yes.
Yes. That's there.
Because we're getting on.
Yeah.
Rabir going to Sir. I think Sir would be a good shout, although I've never seen him play a Sir. So I think Rabir is working on his own guitar model.
Interesting.
Well, again, that would make sense. That would make sense as well. Ned says it seems to be one of the pickups is a smaller distance between the 6 screws by about 2 millimeters. That one should be the neck pickup then. Or I really wouldn't like to say, mate. I think it's really worth checking with PRS. But try it. It's not going to do any harm. Try it and see which one sounds better. Thanks very much for the answer, support. Anytime, Danny. Evening all. Bon année from John. Evening, John. Max says cool headphone stand.
Thank you.
I bet a new Helix is in. Is there a new Helix?
Don't know.
Is there a new Helix? Oh, don't know about that. I had a Helix when they first came out.
Never been a fan.
Yeah. Great for this. Thanks for a great start 2023, guys. Cheers, Jeff. Yeah, of course. Came from Roman. And Danny says, you always got an outstanding sound when you play every single piece of gear you show to the channel. Do you use some post-production? I mean, some EQ tweaking? No, I try not to EQ tweak. The only thing sometimes I do is to add some reverb and a bit of delay because I don't like playing without it, to be honest. Thank you, Danny. If you read this, you are done. Regarding Chapman, you heard Danish Pete getting the signature model. No.
Oh, who knows?
Oh, no, they would. No, that's not a good move.
Hilarious. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are done for the evening. So slight change to plans for next week. Next week's Q&A live will be on Tuesday evening.
Well, let's work it out. We don't know. Let's say we haven't. I don't think we decided. It'll either be on Tuesday
with me and him, or without me on Wednesday.
Yes, we'll work it out.
I should be in Germany.
Yes. So yes.
And at this point, we should just go quickly.
Cheers, Ned. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, sir. We'll see you next week at some point. We'll work out exactly what we're going to do. And yes, we'll see you next week. Have a good week, everyone. Hopefully this was a good start to the year, and we'll have some more of these coming very soon. Lots of cool plans that we're putting into action for the rest of the year. So for now, good night from myself, and
cheers, guys.
See you soon. Take care.
Take care.